Hello again.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back, everyone. You stuck with us, and that's no small feat.
Because we talked a lot.
We did talk a lot. We're going to try and work a little bit on the talking.
I really hope you weren't trying to actually watch that episode.
Again, if you have not seen ReBoot, the show's not for you. This is for fans to reminisce and watch the show. So if this is your first time seeing the series, find another YouTube upload. Thank you very much.
Preferably one with no talking.
Yeah, one without us. Anyway, yeah, so today we are talking about... Did we say the name of the show? I can't even remember if we announced it.
Nope.
The ReBoot ReView, it's Alphanumeric. The subtitle was Katie's.
Yeah,
by the way.
All mine.
Yeah, that's 100% her, but I'm rolling with it because I was like, Katie, what should we name this show? And that was your contribution.
Yep, and I was pretty adamant.
Yeah, that she was, actually.
It was the deal breaker.
I don't care how much ReBoot has been a part of like our relationship or how you have no one else to really record the show with. If it doesn't have the subtitle, that's it.
I'm out.
She's out. And that actually segues into my pre-episode topic this time, which is I want to talk a little bit about why I decided to do this. It was my idea originally. I'm not mine. Afraid to say that, yeah. And but what it was because maybe like a year or 2 years ago, I kind of allude to this in the previous video, but I was living in Japan, hanging out with some other Canadian friends, one of whom was about 5 years younger than me and had grown up watching the show, but had seen it in rerun, had been fairly young when he'd seen it, and wanted to watch it again. And we had another friend who was from Quebec who, growing up Francophone and being even younger than we were, had never really seen or gotten into the show. But he eventually went into animation, and we were like, well, you should really see this seminal piece of Canadian animation if you consider yourself an animation buff. And he agreed. So we sat him down to watch it. And I was just really struck at how much fun it still was to watch the show, even like 20 years after it originally came out. Being 20 years older.
It has been that long?
Yeah.
That's
I know, because that was 1994 that it debuted,
yep.
And it's now it's been 23 years since the show first premiered. Let that sink in, everybody.
That's amazing, though. That is truly amazing. The show is really good.
Yeah,
still.
yeah, and I think it's a matter of like great writing, great voice acting, and it being for its time not bad looking, and it is pretty clunky, especially these early episodes and these early seasons in a lot of places. But there's parts of it that are really they put a lot of care into it, and it's well executed. But yeah, so I was watching the show and really enjoying it and being like, man, I wish I was talking about this stuff with Katie. Because we have been co-fans for a long time.
20 years, apparently.
Actually, it is 20 years because so we became friends in grade 10.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And that is how old we are.
Yeah. We were in grade 10 20 years ago, just for reference.
Yeah, but you guys are probably that age too, so.
Yeah, a lot of you anyway. So, like, we were friends in grade 10. We had some classes together, and we were like kind of bonding on other levels in terms of just getting along. But that was when ReBoot season 3 came out.
Yes.
Or like it had come out like maybe just like the spring before we started, or like it was on. Mm-hmm. ReBoot season 3 was airing at that time. And I mentioned at one point just being like super psyched about watching new episodes of this show, but maybe like we had other friends who kind of watched it but weren't like diehard fans. And I just remember as soon as I brought it up,
yeah,
or maybe you brought it up, but one of us brought it up, and I'm pretty sure the other one just lit up. Like,
yeah, I don't even really remember. It's just a blur of fanatic.
And honestly, that was a not insignificant part of how we became such good friends that we are still here 20 years later at a table recording this.
Yeah, devoting our lives
to ReBoot and the promotion of
I know, we
show.
spent hours just talking about it and our like ideas for fan fiction that we never wrote ever, but we would talk about it.
We would, or just and just like enjoying the fandom, because in the, like, especially around the time that they were launching season 4, and I remember how psyched we got when they were releasing season 4. That was like the peak of Reboot fandom, because it was just long enough for all the fans to be like starved for the rest of the series.
And season 3, they took it in so many new directions, and there was so much more going on. Like, we were so ready.
Yeah, and I just remember spending ages on like Reboot fan pages, and like at the time I was away at university, but we would still like go on the same Reboot fan pages and then like talk to each other about updates.
Yes.
When we were in touch.
Yeah. So this is us picking up the torch, the fan torch.
Basically, yeah. So anyway, Reboot has been like a big part of our friendship, or at least a not insignificant part. It is based on other things. I want to be very clear about that. But
it wasn't all Reboot.
It wasn't all Reboot all the time, but it was Reboot.
There were many
like
other shows that we obsessed over.
And I would say it was Reboot like 25% of the time, at least during high school and university.
I do remember sending you a card that had pictures that I took of my toys, and like I had made this little like comic out of pictures.
I must have that somewhere.
You must.
Maybe I can find that, but it's probably you made me a lot of Reboot stuff and sent it to me, and it was mostly hilarious. So I should try to dig some of that out. I'm not even going to get into you coming to visit me at university and bringing your Reboot toys, and that's a story for another time. We're starting to run a little bit long here.
Yeah, right.
Boy, there were photos. They were excellent. So, anyway, this is episode 2, Racing the Clock.
Yes.
Yeah. And
fantastic show.
Let's get into it.
This is actually an episode that I remember disliking because I never liked Enzo. And it features him.
Very prominently.
And he bothers me.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to start the recording. Sorry, I have to declare this in case you're wondering so that I know where to sync our audio with the show. So I'm going to start the recording now. There we go. Sync accomplished. But, well, it's funny. That was another background thing about the show that I need to find the source on this because it might be apocryphal, but I definitely read somewhere that Enzo wasn't originally supposed to be in the show. Bob and Dot were the original characters, and at some point in the development process, probably a broadcast executive of some kind was like, you can't have a kid's show without a kid character. Which isn't 100% true, but at the time, in the early 90s, that was absolutely the received wisdom. You needed a fun, plucky kid. And the executive or someone involved in it was like, you need a kid, like a little Enzo somewhere. And kind of out of reticence or just like reluctance or
they say the user
whatever indignance they had towards this, they named him Enzo, per the quote, the most old manish name. I don't know, I'm pretty sure Enzo's like an old man name.
Yeah.
It's like if his name was like Jebediah or something.
Yeah, but it still sounds very computery, which is kind of funny.
It does somehow, yeah. And that explains so much, because I always wondered why Dot had this like great computer pun name. And Enzo is just
he's
Enzo.
left with Enzo.
Yeah, which was a name I had never heard before Reboot even. Not a whole lot of Italian Canadians where
floating around.
Yeah.
No way! A call! Enzo's override delivery service. Anyone?
Does Enzo put his cap to the front just so he can spin it? Because I'm pretty sure that's like the standard move, that it's only ever facing front.
All I think is like, what businessman turns his cap around to conduct business?
That's true. You're supposed to face it forward. That's professional mode. That's a very long time for Enzo to have been looking out the window. Okay, that's pretty good.
Good moment. That was really good.
Again,
he's gonna kill him.
Coming along. Oh, great! Just huge!
And again, the weird parts where it's like the timing is so good, and then the parts where the timing is so odd, awkward. Yeah.
Call me whenever. Enzo.
Yes. Like there, that just was not quite fast enough.
No,
but
yes, that's right.
Bob's going to mend a tear that
children's theater.
I don't know
interruption
so much
style.
about, like, I used to work in TV and like loosely connected to animation. And I don't know a lot about animation editing, but it seems like going in after the fact and clipping out an extra split second of footage is not usually a tall order.
Right.
And maybe there was something about the workflow of this show that made it that they would watch an episode and be like, the timing's not great.
Enzo's override delivery service.
We're just going with it.
Anywhere.
It just seems like an odd choice.
Or maybe like because they were trying to like piece the whole show together. That if you took one piece away,
Yeah, it's quite possible. Maybe like
everything. I love no legs.
Yeah, I love that it exists. Like, who? Why? I know. There's no reason for it, but it's just this fun megabyte touch.
Because he doesn't need them.
Maybe they decided he looked weird sitting. It's totally possible.
Yeah, that's way to ruin it.
But it's still cool.
Look at that face. What is with that face?
He does have some pretty terrible smug face.
Smarmy little.
Alphanumeric.
It's Alphanumeric.
Oh my!
That's the name of that show.
Oh, there's something written on his mitt. It's Mainframe.
I never saw that.
Wait till Dot hears about this.
We're trying to do this all in one take, but like totally scroll back there and pause it and tell us what it says, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
I suppose I can always find someone else to process daring deliveries to exotic places.
No. I can do it. I'll just tell her later. Yeah, that's it.
Perhaps. But first I have to see how you handle a test program.
You can count on me. This may be my first after-school function, but
So something that I miss a little bit about early ReBoot compared to like how heavy it gets in the later seasons is how like in these early episodes, Megabyte is just kind of the town jerk.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Like in later episodes, like if you saw Megabyte, you would either run away or pull a weapon, depending on what you were more qualified to do.
Right. Yeah.
But in like early episodes, it's just like you could do business with him. Just means maybe you're going to be carrying a bomb.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know?
Yeah. Exactly.
To deliver to someone else and destroy them. You just use at your own risk, really.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. Like, and like, the wrapped present thing. Like, of course.
Yeah.
That's not a sneaky pull.
Presented as this like cute little thing, and I don't know. I kind of miss that innocence of the early seasons where you could like deal with Megabyte. You just couldn't be sure which Megabyte you were going to get.
Yeah.
On
Like
any given
Megabyte,
day.
you've gotten real cynical. You've gotten real dark.
Yeah.
I mean, I did it. I received my very first order.
No way.
It's true.
Congratulations.
Who's it from?
Well, how does it?
Terrible parents.
That's true. He says he's going to keep it secret, but they don't even ask him.
No.
No. And like, it's not like
you.
it's not like they don't know everyone in Mainframe. Oh, but then that comes out. But that's Enzo's fault. He's the one who couldn't keep that to himself.
Did you say hexadecimal?
Yeah.
Who sent this package?
It was, some guy named, Jean-Luc. Yeah, that's it.
Why would anyone send a package to Hex?
There are 3
What's
sprites
it?
in this
A bomb?
entire.
There could be a binome named Jean-Luc.
Binoms
bomb.
can't do packages.
Better access what's inside.
Their hands are only
Second
myths. It's
class.
not like
X-ray.
we don't do binome delivery here.
Looks like a mask with a clock in it.
I wonder if there's a market for something like that.
See, it's not a bomb. Can I go now?
Another thing
Enzo,
ReBoot
I
does
can't
really
let you
well
go to
throughout the
Hexadecimal's
series,
island.
I feel,
Oh,
is
sure. I know what your
they'll
problem
like
is. You don't want
introduce
the
something like
competition. You don't want me to
hexadecimal,
succeed.
and the way
Enzo's
she's
the little
talking
brother
about her,
format, and Dot's the big
like
businesswoman who-
she's bad
No,
or a
Enzo.
threat,
Mhm.
but we don't
Too
have to be
dangerous.
like
She's right. Los
hexadecimal,
Angeles is no
the
place for a
virus who
little
lives in
sprite
that
like you.
dangerous part. Like you don't have to
you're
explain
supposed
what
to
it
be on
is,
my
and to me
side.
that gives this
My
idea that like
business is
Mainframe is
doomed.
this
End of
fully
file.
complete
Log
place
off.
where
I give
hexadecimal
up.
already
I'll
exists,
never
and you
do
can
this
just
cool
refer to her,
stuff.
and you just trust that the
compile
audience is
up.
going to
Watch
eventually
your
know what they
age.
need to know
There's a
by
simple
the time they
solution
need to know
to
it.
every
Yeah.
problem.
And I did get it.
Bob,
And I
you
remember watching
deliver
this
the
episode for the first
package
time and
just
being
this
like,
once.
hexadecimal?
Enzo, you continue
Yes.
your
Who
business
is
and don't
this?
quit
Yes.
files.
Some
Yeah,
sort of
exactly.
dangerous
And
person?
make it sound
What does the
like
mask
we
mean?
know.
You know, like that was actually a really cool way of doing it.
How does she do that?
What? Get everyone else to do all the work?
Yeah.
Don't ask me. I've been trying to figure that one out forever.
To be fair, Dot does do a lot of work herself.
Yeah, I know. She turns out to be quite the workhorse. Yes, hexadecimal, everyone. Truly the coolest.
Scotty.
Like, the viruses were just such a highlight of this show.
Yeah.
Like, great villains go a long way.
Yeah.
Scuzzy.
I shouldn't have done that. I was glad to see him.
Like, and I love how just that moment just establishes everything you need to know about hexadecimal.
Exactly.
Like, I'm happy, but I'm still going to punish you for it, but I will regret it later.
Yeah, exactly.
What have you got for me?
A delete command, masked as a mask. She'll never know what erased her. Now all I need is some unsuspecting fool.
And like, you don't have to know who Scuzzy is already in that previous scene.
Yeah,
To get that something's going on. And then it just fills in the information afterwards.
Yes.
That's something the show consistently does well, I feel, throughout the series.
Yeah, that's true.
And his delivery boy.
Now, I don't know the voice actress.
That is, I wrote down, I've researched all of these names and wrote them down. I've got it in my handy little notebook here. Listen to my page flipping action. That is Shirley Milner.
Oh,
is her
okay.
name. She might be credited as something else, but that's on IMDb. She shows up as Shirley Milner. And I'm not sure what else she's done.
I was going to say, what else has she done?
You know what? I need to look that up. Not that you can't do that, people of the internet.
This
I'm
is
gonna
the
make a
way
point
it
of
always
looking into
goes.
that, just so that we know
Miss
for
all the
future
cool
reference.
stuff.
Yeah, because she's got the coolest voice. Like, she and Tony J. I mean, really, the two of them together,
Just amazing casting on all of that.
they lucked out.
They really did. Just having these people available in Vancouver. Wait.
If I can't make the delivery,
Well, yeah, no, the
can
Vancouver.
always
Yeah,
walk.
yeah,
Vancouver,
yeah.
of course.
It is a Vancouver-based company. So I'm pretty sure
They wouldn't have
most
gone
of these guys are
anywhere else.
Vancouver-based. Yeah. I think this.
Why do I always
I don't
get
know how
lost
long
in
Ocean
lost
Studios
angles?
has been around, and those were the guys who dubbed a lot of anime and did a lot of Canadian animated series around the end of the
Nulls.
90s. Some nulls.
Is this our first shot of the
There's
nose?
nothing worse than having to ask
Do
a
we have any
null
last
for
names?
directions.
They referenced nullification
Yeah.
in the previous episode, but I don't know if we actually saw the
Well, almost nothing.
the randomness
shoot.
of
Find
hexadecimal.
someone else's
I have to
head.
say, like, if I knew this was going on in my computer, I'd be seriously unimpressed.
That's true. At the same time, I would like feel cheated that I didn't get to like watch it happening most of the
That's
time.
true.
Yeah.
Hexadecimal.
I didn't expect it to be you.
I love
Well,
too. It's
I'm
like
sorry,
she
but,
sounds
I've
like an
always been
old
me.
lady, but
I have a
she's
package
super
for you. Enzo's over at delivery.
sexy. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's totally
PG-13,
true
but,
how they're
like,
able. Yeah, we're trying to just so you know, we're trying to at least keep this down to the swearsies. But yeah, no,
What
she
a
definitely.
shame. I
like,
already have
oozing
one.
sexuality.
You'll
Yeah,
have to
she
return
really
to
is at the same. But it's
Megabyte.
like this kind of husky
Regret.
voiceness that she has,
Yeah.
being a bit older.
Megabyte sent this?
Maybe that's my goal
Returning things isn't really
as I
part of my
age
function.
is to get
Have a
like
good one.
sexy hexadecimal huskiness in my voice.
That's right. Oh no, that doesn't look
But
good
then
on you
just
at all,
sound
Bob.
Who wore it better? It was hexadecimal. I don't need to ask.
Bob? That must be Hexadecimal's hole in the ground.
Object to Megabyte's
I'd forgotten that line.
reaches 0. Oh, I'd like to see Megabyte's face when his own time delete bomb goes off.
This episode does have a lot of plots being
I
overheard.
don't want to see it now.
True. Killed again.
Right.
Poor Scuzzy.
Why does he keep coming back? There must be nobody else feeding him. Whatever Scuzzy eats.
Whatever he nulls,
If you know what Scuzzy eats, please tell us in the comments. They're probably nulls, yeah.
which is actually kind of disturbing.
It is, even what nulls really are.
Strange. That looks just like Bob.
Like in Mainframe, it's just normal to
Definitely
look up
not
and
Bob.
see someone like flying through the sky. Like it's not like, oh my god,
it
who's
must
flying
not
up?
be your best friend.
One of the only two other sprites in town.
You never let me input anything exciting, but I didn't know it was gonna get Bob in trouble, and I was fun of Megabytes are gonna blow up any nanosecond if we don't!
Enzo, slow down. Now let me get this straight. The package from Megabyte is a bomb, and Bob has no idea. I see what you mean. We've got to warn Bob. Well, there's still a Bob to warn.
I like how she doesn't actually care about him that much. I mean, she's quite level-headed about him.
Right.
Hexadecimal?
I would like to think that's just Dot's nature.
That's
Be
right.
level-headed when
Very good in
maybe
crisis.
not if Enzo was in danger. She's a little too protective of him. But
There he
right.
is. Thank goodness he slowed down. Oh no, not now.
it's always the worst possible timing, Dot. You just have to acknowledge that.
Yeah, accept it. Move on.
Yeah. You live in Mainframe. Bad timing is just part of the deal here. And too long shots.
Yeah, it's true. Let's watch that sky continue.
This is a really long GameCube.
Warning.
It's a big game. Slow
Also,
to load.
for anyone who doesn't know, because this came as a shock to one of my other friends I was watching the show with before, Kathleen Barr is not only the voice of Doc, she's also the voice of the system voice. So that warning incoming game is the same actress who plays Doc, which is kind of... She actually pulls a lot of like double duty in this show. I mean, all the actors do to some degree, but she's like, up until Mouse is introduced, she is like a female character. Like,
It's so true.
Kathleen Barr as... Is it a girl? Yeah.
Curses and crashes! We lost them!
Maybe not. Come on.
Cursors.
Ah!
So the word cursors is like a
Cursors.
curse?
Yeah, well, I guess it's probably like saying curses, which is still a pretty old-timey...
Curses.
Curses.
Cursors.
Yeah, cursors.
But really, cursors are such a benign thing.
That's really true, yeah.
It's like saying potatoes.
Although I guess a cursor, like if you live in a computer, a cursor controls a lot of stuff.
You almost got us
that's a good
right.
point.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Do you ever have to walk around Mainframe and like this
Can we
little
do it
cursor,
again?
you just kind of bat it
Maybe
out of the way.
later,
It's like...
Now we gotta
Don't
find
move me.
Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Good to see you again, Gary. See you.
wow, it's a racing game in the episode called
Racing the Clock.
Racing the Clock.
Yeah.
Good
That is
thing
really
we know
what a
formula.
coincidence.
Right? No one would have
ReBoot.
expected this.
He just said reboot really in a weird way. Reboot.
Reboot. Reboot. I was really wondering if it's like, what is it in, you know, like when you say a spell with the wrong emphasis.
Leviosa.
Leviosa, yeah. If you say reboot wrong, does it like... Reboot you strangely?
It just sounds really Canadian when you say
It does,
that.
actually, yeah. I'm pretty sure Michael Benier is Canadian.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he is, yeah.
Maybe it was just his accent popping out there.
Yeah, that could be. That's probably quite likely. Just adorable binomes all over the place. I mean, but like they show them being so cute, and yet they're so disposable.
I'm okay.
That's true. There is a lot of that, thanks to ABC, which I'm kind of grateful for in the early seasons. I think if it had come in as the kind of heavy show that it turned into,
No, it wouldn't have the same.
No.
Because there's
so much charm.
just like
You
you
know
said
what that
earlier,
means,
like
Enzo.
there's something missing from the later episodes. And I'm like, I like season 3 and 4, but even season 4, it just gets really dramatic, melodramatic.
yeah, exactly.
Races against the clocks.
Right? Like, no, just like you made a bad choice and took Megabyte on as a client.
Yeah,
You know, that kind of-
Pardon me. Thank you. Don't mind me. I'm just taking the lead.
And I know that like ABC did have a lot to do with the tone of the show in this first 2 seasons. But I do wonder how much of what it is really came out of those restrictions that they were placed under.
Yeah.
Well, you know that binome did have to like, you did see him like flying out and everything felt like kind of bouncy there.
Yeah, they were missing the parachute.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, there we go. See,
Yeah.
he's okay, everybody.
I'm okay.
That was close. Oh, no, you don't.
I don't think they're trying to hit you, Bob.
That's a good point. I guess when you're a
I think
guardian,
that's
everyone
like your
feels
friend.
like probably is, or maybe
Maybe
someone
that's
looks up to
Jean-Luc.
you and admires.
Of course, that's what I consider.
Jean-Luc, that creep.
Does everyone have booster boosters?
I would assume so. Surely, unless it's like Mario Kart and you had to grab it at some point that we apparently did not see.
Enzo, how'd he do that?
Nitros, push the button on your steering
Oh, yeah,
wheel.
everyone does have them. And maybe everyone else just wasted theirs right out of the gate because they're incompetent binomes
Yes.
and
the
don't
lazy,
actually know how to win games.
The lazy
And the lazy loser
doesn't know
user.
how to do it.
No, he just didn't read any like the tutorial stuff or anything like that. He's just like, it's a driving game. I just drive, right?
Yeah. Cool. She'll be fine.
Yeah. It's first season. She's okay, everybody.
Level 2.
Oh, I
Let's
forgot
see
about
what
this
this
part. How they're
the
and they get the
hover
planes in the
vehicles.
end, right? I still
It
was
wasn't
sorry.
just like a plain
You
old.
okay, Dot?
Fine, just go. We're
That's
Bob's
right. Yeah,
only
this
hope.
planes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another beat that I'd kind of forgotten. That's just like a little clever something that they put in.
I'd love to drive a hovercraft. That'd be cool.
I feel like it would look fun, and then you would get into it, and it would just be like weird and clunky and difficult and impossible.
Yeah, especially on this track.
Yeah. Well, he did a nice job of animating like how like it would kind of like swerve around.
Yeah,
Lazy Loser user found something useful on his dashboard.
Yes. Seems like he has all these attacks.
Yeah.
Where everyone else just has
Yeah, he's a little more offensive.
I feel like he actually would not have avoided those doing that maneuver.
No.
Like these guys.
We're okay. Yeah, actually, there wasn't really any space to get around them. Initially, I want to see it like raining bindings. After they were.
Wait, Dot. It's all in the reflexes.
So I do have to say, Katie knows as well. Dot is my favorite character. I feel like she is a well-rounded character between someone who like gets to do cool stuff, but is also meaningfully flawed.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and in a way that did like she's flawed in a way that does impact the show. At the same time, like in this episode, she keeps up. You know. She
Yeah,
holds
it's
her
true.
own.
She's like boring, but also capable.
Boring but capable. That's why I like her. I identify with boring but capable quite well, as it turns out.
Deleted. Oh, it's all my fault. If only I'd
See, I still don't like Enzo. That hasn't changed.
Really, I like Enzo more this time.
I think his voice actor is good.
Yeah, and that's Jesse Moss, by the way.
Jesse Moss?
In this season, there's like 6 Enzos, and that's not true. There's like 4 or 5. There's a lot of Enzos because, of course, you know, it's a fairly
Maturation.
young voice. Yeah. He naturally had his voice changing.
Now.
But they all do a pretty good job. And you would never know that the Enzos change, which blows my mind. Like, there's subtle differences between them, but...
Yeah, there are only a few that really stand out as being quite different. Oh, no.
Way. Bob.
She does care about him. Yeah. That was the heartfelt Bob.
That was. She's good at those.
Yeah, she is. But yeah, there are some, female actors who don't have, like, they just don't give it the right way, but she
Yeah, like the right oomph for saying someone's name.
This is the
dramatically.
second
That Elsa flew.
tear
That's showing up in
in a game.
Yeah, they used to rely on tears a lot.
I do remember
too.
This was
Oh yeah.
the
Again,
implosion.
you are the lazy loser user.
Like,
What is going on in my game? I would get my computer looked at this point.
like everything's pixelating
And no, my game is literally imploding before my eyes. I can at least hope that like the game is crashed for the user by now, and they're currently like,
yeah, they're not even seeing it anymore.
no,
Yeah,
if the screen's frozen.
Yeah.
But there was like a system voice announcement of like, warning, game corruption. Like, did the user see any evidence of that? Did they hear that? Yeah, they rely
There
on
goes the universe.
Basically. Yes, I'm restarting. They rely on tears a lot in these early episodes. I find it's like the go-to plot device, and they just kind of do whatever you need them to.
Yeah.
Like, is a crashing tear
Donut.
going to like implode your game? Sure.
My question.
I guess.
Oh, there they are.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, where
they
are they?
survived. I guess you don't have to win a game if it just gets crashed by a tear.
Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they should just
Megabyte
bring
Hero
tears with
commanded
them.
the
Yeah.
match just like
Maybe
you said.
then no one would
Only you
die.
didn't know because I should have copied and
That'd
pasted
be
the
nice.
truth from the start. But will you ever forgive me for inputting
See, I
you
just
in
love
someone
noticing
Enzo?
expressions. Like Dot's expression that whole time
Bob and
was
I are sharing a
just
common
kind of like
lottery after the game.
weird.
Yeah. Just like bad photo still.
You risked your life to come into the
expression.
game and save me.
I couldn't let anything happen to you.
You couldn't?
No. Enzo would have blamed himself for it.
Oh. But Dot,
And I was like Bob and Dot too.
Yeah, they're
So,
cute together.
You failed me completely.
Why, thank you.
You're fired.
Oh, you know, I'm so disappointed.
I have found someone else to deliver my packages.
Hexadecimal said.
Yeah,
She
Hexadecimal.
said
She said she already has one.
She said she already
Has one?
has one. I said that.
Legitimately
classic.
Some great voice acting.
Slash.
Those two would have, like, because they wouldn't be recording at the same time, but yet they still have or maybe they would record.
You know what? It's not typically a thing to record at the same time, and I don't know if it was this, like, at this time either. But I seem to remember seeing behind-the-scenes footage of the show that had, like, 6 people in a studio with, like, stands in front of them with the scripts and microphones all, like, together. So
but you know, they were all trying new things and revolutionary ideas, so maybe that was part of it, is getting all the actors sort of together. Maybe it could be that that's a way that some shows are filmed and others prefer, like, the
separate studios.
It works well with
I don't really know enough about how, like, I know a fair bit about how animation is made now, but I don't really know enough about how it was made back then, or what a low-budget show looked like versus a higher budget show. Although the budget for the show wasn't insignificant.
No. It seemed like a lot of money.
They definitely, to be able to make this at all in the first place, even though it looks kind of clunky to us now, I think it was a pretty decent sized budget, especially if they had ABC on board.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, one of their flagship original commissions.
Yeah.
So
I think they had their investors all lined up.
Yeah.
So I have no idea how much it costs, though.
No.
A lot.
Yeah.
More
and
than
I don't know if it would be possible to get that information now without actually knowing someone who worked on the show.
Oh, well, then we'll never know.
Yeah. They don't tend to publicize that stuff if you're not, like, one of those shows where contract negotiations were a super huge deal.
Oh.
Yeah, not in my experience. But anyway, yeah. Racing the Clock, episode 2. Any thoughts on wrapping
feelings
that up that we maybe didn't discuss?
It's a pretty straightforward little episode. I love that you finally get to meet Hexadecimal, who is truly beautiful, wonderful.
Yeah, and again, the way they introduce her, like, just kind of with it's like a soft introduce, and before you actually get to witness what Hexadecimal really is. And yet, for as much as that episode does kind of revolve around her, like, she's not in the climax of the episode at all.
Yeah, and it introduces the dynamic between her and Megabyte, which is totally separate from, like, everything else that goes on in the show. Like, it's these two and their weird little rivalry
going on. Yeah, which ends up being evolved on quite a lot and is also just really great.
Yes.
So, yeah, and just another one of the sort of the extra things that it's not just about what's going on with the sprites versus Megabyte or the sprites versus Hexadecimal. Everyone kind of has an interrelationship.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
a dynamic that adds something to the show.
Like you talk about the fully developed universe of Mainframe.
It already exists. These people were already here. They already know each other.
Yeah.
So
in this crappy computer. I mean, crummy computer. Sorry.
That's okay. Well, I know, can we... How PG are we going with this?
Crummy.
Okay. That level of PG. Got it. Yeah. We have reasons for going PG. It's okay. We hope you still find us entertaining despite the lack of swears. We just need to incorporate more ReBoot swears.
That's right. Cursors and crashes.
That's a pretty good one, actually. It rolls off the tongue.
Curses and crashes.
Yeah. So with that, we should wrap up episode number 2, Racing the Clock. Mm-hmm. And if you like this, let us know, because we're just kind of making some and putting them out there and hoping an audience finds them. So if you like it, please tell us and we can make more of them.
That's right. And don't tell us if you don't like it.
Yeah, you can keep that to yourselves. We'll get the hint if you're just quiet. Trust us.
Yeah. Praise, good. Everything else, stop it.
Constructive criticism is okay, but you know.
Yeah. No, I don't want to hear it. Yeah. I don't need... We're perfect the way we are. And that's that.
Yeah, okay. Then that is sufficient. You heard it from Katie. And I'm Robin, and this is the ReBoot Review, It's Alphanumeric. And until next time, stay frosty.
I don't think so.